All right. I usually wake up feeling confused and overwhelmed with the amount of weird stuff going on in my dreams. Like it would take an entire novel to describe single night's dream. Okay. Well, I would. All right. So that's an excellent point to bring in. What this means is that there's a part of you that's very, very involved in the distraction. In the distraction. The distraction is the stressors of life, the emotional body programming, subconscious stuff, maybe inherited from family, right? It's invested in distraction, and your dream time is there, of you getting out of the distraction, right? The storylines of dreams, believe it or not, have nothing to do with the energy interaction that just happened in the dream. And I know that sounds messed up, but the reason why is because you're getting little pieces, little fragments, little fractals, and your subconscious is filling in the rest of the story around that fractal. You see what I mean? Your subconscious is filling it in. That's why in dreams they go through these phases. Like, so in the beginning, you're going to the store, you're doing something very normal, and then something really weird, super weird happens. Like, I don't know, like something that shouldn't, like something that defies reality will happen. Maybe I don't know, a purple, one-eyed, one-horn, flying purple people eater comes in and tells you to buck up. Something, something like that. And then immediately after the freaky part of the story, right, the part that's like, oh, that's weird, or we have a reaction to where it's like, oh my God, right after that is this tiny window. Oh, I'm giving the secrets away. There's this tiny window that is your spirit looking right at you. That's the opportunity to directly connect with soul, spirit, soul. I'm using those interchangeably, but we don't usually get that. We don't get there. Instead, we get the crazy weird story, and then we have our emotions that come with the story, because again, that was a fractal that our subconscious filled in all the blanks, right? So we have a fractal, our subconscious filled in all the blanks, and of course our subconscious is going to fill in things that have thoughts and feelings about, and that's why it's a distraction. Another thing to look out for is if there are a gazillion people in your dream. That also means that your energy, your personal energy field, is investing in distractions, as in that you have energies going out to people, and people have energies coming into your field too. So that's one of those indicators of distraction. It's difficult not to get hung up on distractions. That's why that's why it's so effective, is because we, oh, something shiny. We do that. That's what we do. Okay. All right, darling. Let me scoot back up. Separated part. Hold on. Okay, yes, there we go. Happy, gratefulness, excellent. Yeah, distractions. Okay. And then dear sister Starshine. Oh, darn it. You know what? I can't read your handle. Starts with a C. I had a dream that I was shopping for a wetsuit, and all of a sudden I was meeting with Sasquatch. That's cool. So, right. So that's something too. All right, we're going to get into some dream language here. Beings speak to us in dream time. They can be interdimensional beings like Sasquatch, or Fae, like a Fae realm. Some people have like fairy beings reach out to them in dream time. Sometimes they look like ETs, right? There's all sorts of beings that reach out to us in dream time once we get to a realm, a zone that they can access us. It's usually 90% of the time, it's them reaching out to us. So our subconscious knows all, but we're not necessarily free all the way inside. So what will happen is that we'll get little cues of something coming, like the wetsuit, because water, just like water is a transporter. Water is what transports consciousness between realms. Like, for example, in the sci-fi stuff, stargates are water. There's a reason why I depict it that way. Souls come into the body via water, right? Water is that threshold, is always on the threshold. So because of those two pieces, I would, without tracking you, I don't want to invade your space at all, but just with that little bit of data that you shared, that I'm leaning towards that could have been a real, an actual Sasquatch communication, right? Just because of those other factors in there. Really, you don't know until you actually track the person and track their dream. Then you can have more stronger data sets to play with. All right. Okay. Cool. So these zones. So you may ask, would it work to open sacred space before I go to sleep? Yes, absolutely. Would it help to prepare my sleeping chambers with, intentional nesting dolls so I can, have a clear connection with spirit in my dream time? Yes, absolutely. Do all those things. The more intentionally we treat our dream time, the more enhance our focus and attention and awareness becomes. And how you're having an impact with the dream isn't necessarily that you remember the dream and you have a great story, though that's very satisfying when it happens. I encourage people to do there's other things to do that's not that, right? That brings the energy forward, that but without the story. And those are really potent data sets to track. So the feedback loop that shows you the impact you're having are the synchronicities. The synchronicities will start coming, like you guys have had this before, I'm sure, where you had a thought and you're like, oh yeah, I'd like to do that. And then next thing you know, it's happening. It just kind of drops in your lap. Synchronicity. You think of someone, they call you. You think of something or a person, they pull around the corner, or you know what I mean? Stuff like this. The synchronicities will start becoming more consistent, and it's really cool because I've watched this also unfold for other people, where they have an intention in their dream moving forward. The rest of the day or week or whatever synchronizes to the feedback loops. The synchronicities are completely synchronized as they go through the rest of the week. It's like the things they said they want, there it is. Like the thing they want to talk about, there it comes. It's like stuff like this. So it defies logic. It defies what we're taught about reality, but it absolutely is a thing. It absolutely is a thing. I have lots and lots of stories of my own where things have come forward, but then some beautiful healing stories from people that you would never think were into alternate realities in dream time. All right, dear sister Starshine says, can we intend to reach out to Sasquatch or Fae in dream time? Yes, absolutely. I would suggest building allies too. I mean, if you even want to do that, chances are you already have a connection. But I would say if you're going out reaching for that connection and things are rocky, I would build a relationship with ancestors first. Not that Fae and Sasquatch are not our ancestors, because they are, but I'll save that for another chat. But I'm going to say it's a little bit more removed than ancestors, such as great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents, stuff like this. These ones that are way in the ancient times of our history are the ones that had a deep connection with the earth, that were living, you know what I mean, living in alignment with the natural rhythms of this reality. And some of them go way back, thousands and thousands of years, and they too have a lot of wisdom and insight, and of course protection to offer you awakening now. And I worked with a group of medicine people for about 15 years, and there was a practice. We had a practice of sending blessings and prayers and strength to our children 50,000 years from now. We would dream forward into being that far out, and you'd be shocked how influential that kind of practice can be, especially when done in groups. So we would not only hold blessings and transmissions for our children's children's children, but we would continue that out many generations to many thousands of years. And that was part of our dreaming practice. There's a lot to unpack with that particular piece I just talked about, but I maybe if it's interesting to you guys, you'll hit me up next week and I can go deeper into that one. All right. So just know that the zones, the fields, they impact. I was experimenting a bit, and I'm going to continue to experiment with the dominant apokuna here. There's a sacred apokuna right over here, a massive mountain that that I was thinking back all the times that I've lived here. It's like I've done so much prayer and ceremony, and over many years with this field, and I never asked for anything. It's always more about harmonizing. And what's happening is I'm really drawn to step into that field again and invite the field of this massive being to reinform me in a different way, which is a practice I walked away working with mountains a long time ago. And when I say walk away, I just mean kind of like it fell away because other things were really dominant in what I had to learn. And so I'm kind of like coming back around to those core teachings. All right, darlings. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and for the chat. I love all the comments here. We're all on the same page. If there's something that you guys want me to look at that you feel like that you want insight or you want some support on how to decode, feel free to email us, wecare@lightbodyacademy.com. And you can also come live and put it live on here. Live is probably best because you're catching me right in the moment with it versus with the email, but I'll still look at it in email. Love you all. If you guys are interested in stepping into those practices, that's good energetic hygiene and building a strong energy field, like really preparing you for an effective Dreamtime engagement, I encourage you guys to check out our Lightbody Essentials subscription at lightbodyacademy.com. That's 3 meetings a month where we get together and as groups and we do different interdimensional practices to build a strong energy field and access these other inner resources and stuff like this. So I encourage you guys to check that out if you want to be joining a community in that. Love you all. Until next time. Bye-bye.